Good morning. This is Madeleine from Madeleine's Craft Room, and I am going to show you two of my favorite techniques today using the embossing folder, and in particular the 3D floral. It is absolutely amazing with the deep impressions that are on this folder, and I am going to show you the first one, which is color on color. So this particular piece is called So Saffron, and nice mellow yellow. And I've used the same color ink, but as you can see, the ink definitely shows up a little darker and makes a beautiful effect. So I'm going to show you how we do that. And this time I'm going to use the Highland Heather paper cardstock as well as the ink. And we are going to excuse me, first of all, I can't move that paper, there we go. Take our folder and we are going to open up our Highland Heather, and you want to be able to use the side that says Stampin' Up, because that's the front and that's how we get the background. So basically you just get the color on there. I kind of smear it on at first, and make sure you go over the fold, because you want to make sure that you get the whole part of the folder, so that when you go to place your paper, you don't have to be exact where you're putting it. And then I just dab my stamp pad. And if you really wanted it nice and light, you could end right there, but I want to have it a little darker. So then you just apply a little bit more ink. And you can see pretty clearly if you've got it all covered, and that does look good. So we're going to put that over there. Then we take our Highland Heather cardstock and we're going to put that onto the embossing folder very carefully. Don't smudge it. And you're going to just close it up. Then we're going to bring our Big Shot, and I'm still using the Big Shot because we don't have our new tool yet. But I just put this on the platform and one embossing plate, because this is such a three-dimensional folder that you can only have a certain height. So just, sorry, it jiggles the table a little bit. We're just going to put that through. I'm going to show you the magic. So here we just open this up, and there we have this beautiful background. And you can see that you don't really need to add very much, because this is so beautiful just like this. So if you added a piece of ribbon or a sentiment, it would just make a lovely card front. So with that, I'm going to show you a few other things you can do with that technique, and that's when you use the plain white. So as you can see, the white is quite elegant too. I've made some wedding cards and they look very, very beautiful and elegant. And, oops, I see a little bit of color. We don't want that transferring. And so then what you can do is the same thing with other colors. This particular one here, I used, again, just a green, and actually I think they're both the same. And again, it just adds another different look. And this particular one, I used the blue. I quite like that one. And this one is a lighter blue, and again, I just didn't use much color on it. So it just depends what kind of effect you want to go for. And then this, of course, was similar to our yellow, but So Saffron yellow, but I used it again on the white embossed flower. So that is that particular style. Then I'm going to show you my other favorite, and that is actually, again, where we use not just the white plain paper that we emboss, but we're going to actually emboss the white first. And when you do that, then you can bring in your stamp, either sponges, or I like to use dabblers. And I'm going to use, for this particular card I'm going to show you, I used actually Highland Heather and all these colors together, Melon Mambo, Green Apple Green, and Daffodil Delight. And this is what I was able to create by doing that. And as you can see, it has a lovely effect. I'm just going to give you a little example of how we do that. And again, I when I do the rose is the highest, so I always tend to kind of twirl in the middle and get down into there deeper and just re-ink. And I always start from the middle and go out, because I find if I go from the outside up, then I get the background and not the highest points of the flower. So this is all you're going to do, is just go like this. And then what I did, of course, is I picked each color, and so I yellow on these, actually yellow on those, and the melon mambo, such a pretty pink, on some of these other flowers, and it makes a very bright, cheery card. And I actually used this on an Easter card, and it looked quite nice. If you don't want to use as many colors, you can just use 3 or 2, like it's totally up to you, but again, you get quite a different effect. So that's that technique with the actual colored inks. I'm going to show you one more that is probably actually my favorite, and that is by using a colored embossed paper with the folder again, but this time we're going to use a craft white ink. And the craft white ink, again, I like using dabblers actually over sponges, just because I feel when you're doing this kind of detail, it's nice to have the control of where you're going. Sponges, you don't always have that. And yeah, you just ink it up, and again, you're going to this time not just do one color, you're going to do all the highest points with the white. And you just go, again, I like to get the white in there a little deeper with the rose. But this one, you're just going to go all over the entire folder, including those little bumps. You get a little bit on the background, or if you want to be exact, you can do it too, but again, it just really depends. And I'll show you the one that I did finish, and that's this one. And so you can see that by putting that on a card, it has like a little vintage look, and just more subtle, and it can be very elegant as well. But those are my 2 favorite techniques using the Country Floral. You can do it with any embossing folder and have the same effects. I'm going to show you just a finished card that I made with the pink, the Melon Mambo, and there again I did the same technique, just doing it on the pink, and then I just did 1 extra rose, which I fussy cut it out, and then put some nice Wink Estella. I don't know if you can see that on there. And then I also just clear embossed one of the sentiments, and of course added some rhinestones to add a little sparkle and dazzle. But there it is, beautiful card, and it's really fun trying out these techniques on different embossing folders and with all the different colors. So have fun, and if there's any questions that you have, or I can help you with anything, you can get me on Facebook at Madeleine's Craft Room or my Stampin' Up website. So thanks, and bye for now.